What's up, everyone? Today I want to read you my third brutal high school blog from my senior year, which was about aging and my thoughts on getting older. Here we go, blog number 3, Aging. For my third blog, I am going to talk about aging. This is a subject that can really hit me in the feels, as some may say. The way I see it is that when we are born, we are new to the world, and we have our whole life ahead of us, and so many things that come up along it. When we grow old, we are no longer new to the world. People don't seem to care about our existence as much as they did when we were younger. And now we have our whole life and everything we ever did behind us. The only thing left in front of us is the endless black abyss we call death. I am now 18 years old, and I am already starting to look back at past memories and miss what my life was like when I was younger. What really gets to me is the thought that these memories will never come back. And as a matter of fact, they will only continue to get farther and farther away from me, as time carries me farther and farther forward, and away from these memories. They may seem like they are getting far away now, but by the time I grow into an old man, I will look back and those memories will now only be a very tiny speck in the distance of all the bright, wondrous memories of life I have behind me, before I face forward once again and, like I have said before, face the dark abyss. I always get really sad by the end of the year, because I feel like by ending the year, I am letting go of and starting to move away from all of the memories I've had this year now, as well as all the other previous years. What also gets me is the thought that maybe when I grow old, I may lose my memory of my life before, and be forever wondering what my life was like in my younger years, and all of my memories will truly be forgotten and gone in that regard. These thoughts of aging started hitting me around mid-2013, when I found myself awake in one bed thinking, wow, it's never occurred to me until now that things are never going to be the same. And as time continues to move forward, so will I, and by the time I am in my last few years of my life, all of my youthful memorable memories I've had will either not mean anything to me anymore, or just be completely forgotten in general. These thoughts of aging have constantly hit me once in a while ever since then, and they can really make me tear up. Who knows, by the time I am old, I may not even remember writing this blog, or any of the other blogs I have written in this post. I try to keep a journal of all the good memories I've had year by year for my older self to read and remember, but I have a hard time keeping up with my life on pen and paper. These thoughts can also relate back to my depression. As I have mentioned in my depression blog, some thoughts that can add whipped cream and a cherry on top of my depressing aging thoughts is the feeling that if I continue to live my life lonely without finding anyone at all, by the last few years of my life, when my hair is gray and my skin is wrinkly, I will still be living with the thoughts that no one has ever come to me. I have never found anyone, and that I have truly lived out my whole life with my depression and loneliness without finding anyone. What's left to do but to just call my search a loss and give into the dark abyss? Thinking about aging is sad enough for me, but taking this into consideration as well only makes it worse. And that was it. That was my blog on aging. I've always had this strange and inexplicable sorrow around aging, guys. I don't know, anytime I think about becoming old, it always gets me somehow emotional. It really is true that one morning many years ago I woke up in bed at home and realized that I was in fact going to become old one day. And ever since then, it has always saddened me. I guess it really is just the thought that when you're old, you have your whole life behind you, like I outlined in that blog. I realize that you really are only young once. Once you leave childhood, there really is no turning back. And then you go through your young adult years, and your middle-aged adult years, and before you know it, you're an old person, and your entire life is behind you. This kind of stuff always just hit me in a weird spot, I guess. And what's worse, as I stated near the end of the blog, is going through all of that and never being able to find someone. We've all heard of the 40-year-old virgin. That kind of plays into what I'm talking about. Imagine being 40 years old, you have lived on this planet for 40 years, and you never got anything. Half of your life is probably behind you already. And you're still waiting for something to happen. Some people really do end up going their whole life like that and never get anything. Let me tell you guys, in my book, once you turn 60, you are considered old to me. If you cross age 60 and you've still never gotten a relationship, a first kiss, or gotten any form of affection, then it's really over for you at that point. All you have left to do is live the last few years of your life wondering what you could have done differently, which seems to be where I am already headed now. And to think, in 3 years, I'm literally going to turn 30, and that will be half of 60. I will be halfway to reaching that point. But anyway, that's enough rambling on my end for now. Aging is sad and brutal, and aging without having any form of affection makes it all the worse. I also wanted to point out, and I think DBDR even touched upon this in one of his videos, the older you get, the harder it becomes to date. Like, nobody wants to date at age 40. The relationship will be different. The wonder of young love only happens in your teen years. I'm already too old for it now, so hopefully I can continue to hope that something happens before I turn 40. But things certainly aren't looking up at the moment. Anyway, that's it. Peace out, everyone.